It's another wild week. Got a lot of action in the market, volatility. Right, you could see with Moody downgrading, I think last Friday, the U.S. Credit. I think pretty much because we had high deficit, downgraded the credit rating, and you could see we got more volatility since that. I think it was the mortgage. And it was bond interest rates. The 30-year bond. We got that drop. We had that drop when the TLT. It dropped here, and then we had a recovery. Then we got some more tariff shenanigans with Trump. And then we got the recovery again. So the market's been volatile, a lot of opportunity. I believe Apple, we saw some volatility with Apple as well. I think the news was, I'm not sure what this trade halt pending is tied to. That caught my interest, but let's just go back to Apple real quick. Specifically, I think, it's just continuation on the tariffs on Apple, having it produced in America. They're supposed to invest like $500 billion in moving their operations from overseas back home. So I think the market's just reacting to Trump persisting on that narrative. Let me see here if we should be buying Apple. Oh man, it hit. Yeah, it actually hit prior. We had that massive VIX scare, tariff scare in April, and a huge recovery. Apple hasn't really been the same since. Maybe supporting here. Could be supporting for entry. But other than I think SPY, really Apple driving down SPY with the news. We also had yesterday. Yesterday after hours, man. We got that massive freaking breakout on, I think it was nuclear incentives moving forward. Really should link this up real quick. You can link it up if you're using Thinkorswim. Your charts here. So now when you change it, everything is in sync. All right, time for nuclear to meet growing U.S. power needs. So pretty much all nuclear stocks move into sympathy. That tariff scare pre-market was a good opportunity to go long. And then of course you got that pullback before Friday close. I think the whole market pulled back. And other, I think, sympathy with Oklo. If you're not familiar, I think Sam Altman is on the board of Oklo. Then NuScale. And look at NuScale. Been watching this one for a while. So that's another nuclear sympathy. And then nano-nuclear is another one. They all kind of move together. And I think Lightbridge, I forgot how. There must be another. Yeah, they're probably another small nuclear player. I forget the details there, but they might be breaking all-time high here for this year. I'm not sure. All-time high. Oh yeah, all-time high in general. So that's been a lot of momentum there. Just Trump just moving the markets. That just made me think of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. You got, I think the news was Trump privatizing them, so they're not going to be sponsored by the government anymore. So the market reacted positively. yeah, just Trump just moved the markets, and look like on the daily chart, super strong, and on this, yeah, I mean, could see continuation. I think the other one, Freddie Mac. So you're happy if you're long on those. Let's see what else we have here. Got MicroStrategy raising more money to buy Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin and crypto, they've been moving all-time high, I think 110, pulling back on the tariff news. I think MicroStrategy pulling back a lot more because of their capital raise. I don't remember exactly how much they're raising. Yeah, it doesn't say. But, yeah, it's going to sell off for a bit. But, coin, let's see, other hood stocks. I'm sorry, crypto stocks. I was thinking of hood because hood also moves with crypto. Not doing so well, Mara, the miners. But other names, yeah. Yes. And this one with ties with Vivek. I think Strive is doing a reverse merger. Gonna merge with Asset. So that would have been good along on this one, the pullback. Right. Yeah, that one was moving. And Metaplanet, that's also been moving. Man, this one's pretty wild. Hotel chain going into Bitcoin treasuries. I think somehow they were able to, and they're pretty much adopting Michael Saylor's strategy. A lot of companies are, including GameStop. We'll move on to the next. But yeah, that thing just pumped overnight and had a hard pullback. I don't know. Might get in on this one on the pullback. A lot of noise. A lot of people, retail buying that one. GameStop, man, GameStop still going. Nice. I didn't think. Let's see. Pull up the short interest on GameStop there. 12%. Yeah, man, look at that. It's a nice setup. Yeah, so I think that's also moving with crypto. I don't think there was any special news on it. Yeah, it's just riding the Bitcoin wave because they again adopted that strategy. I mean, they tanked on, I think, that earnings, announcing that news. All right, well, we'll see. All those diamond hand ape holders probably celebrating. Let's see if we could hit last year's. Last year's high was, I think, 65 actually pre-market twice that it hit. Let me go. Oh, never mind. It does show. And this day, I think it hit. So we'll see what's going on next week. I didn't think it was going to stay up there. So those are kind of the winners and momentum plays for the week. Some other names in the loser category. United Health. We had that massive, just huge news on the downside with the DOJ investigation into supposed fraud. And I think, they just had a bad earnings with Trump administration investigating, pharmaceutical, that's what they call them, managers. Anyways, they pretty much the middlemen of health insurance. So that's pretty much been the story with this stock. and it did have a nice recovery. Well, I guess I didn't have to go that far back. Yeah, I think when Trump got in, had that nice tank, and then had that recovery, which everyone, anticipated, all the bulls. And then now, we're just even worse situation. Was not expecting that. I think another loser here, Wolf, potentially going bankrupt. They are only, I think, a semiconductor company that pretty much in the U.S. that makes, I think, man, don't quote me on this. I forgot. It's carbide, silicon carbide, I think, that for mostly automotive and other electronic applications. So only one in the U.S., but it's just they haven't been able to make any profit and potentially going bankrupt. That might be a nice. I don't know, they're heavily shorted. Let's see. Yeah, the shorts are on them. Yeah, 44%. That's another one to watch. Let's see. Switch back here. Oh yeah, another loser for the week. ENPH, solar companies, particularly ENPH. I think FSLR is in better shape. Yeah, they're all taking a hit because I think the Biden administration, they had a lot of bills supporting the solar industry, and that's just not happening with the Trump administration. So I think the longs here will be in pain, but I don't know, maybe we get some recovery next week. Just set some alerts. Just keep an eye on this thing. So I definitely like UNH just because I don't like them as a company and their practices and what they're being charged for, but potentially on the hook for, and we'll just see what happens there. But there's definitely a trade in a way. I do like Bull. Hood has seen a huge recovery. Obviously, the user base and asset under management is way more than Bull and the eToro recently. Recently IPO'd. So I think they're both between eToro and Bull, both 5 billion market cap, pretty in the same. I think they both have tens of millions of users tapping into the international market. I think more so than Robinhood, but I feel like there's more volatile opportunity with Bull, and with their last earnings, I did have a conversation with ChatGPT on their earnings. Let's see. I think it was good. Yeah, I think they pretty much, with revs over year over year, more revs. They did have income, less, expense, user growth. Everything looked pretty good, but I think the downside was, let's see, it just wasn't impressive, I guess. They wanted more. The market wanted to see more. But they do have expansion with Latin America. I think, what else did I think it was Norwegian. Or which other European company or country. But yeah, a lot of if you subscribe to the Wall Street Bet Reddit group, they're pretty much trying to pump this thing. And I found this comment, so I wanted to see. I think they were betting on earnings that Bull is going to have a blowout or recovery. Yeah, I think this thing is going to be asleep for a little bit longer. Not too long though. I think that kind of wraps it for the week. That's what pretty much happened in the market. Still, still good to go long, and yeah, I don't think we're gonna, all the volatility, even though the VIX did pop with that tariff news. Yeah, man, just within the last 6 months, we had 2 VIX events back to back. And I'm sure there'll be more. Stay tuned. All right, see you guys next week.